Hey everyone, welcome back to Yellow Jacket Garage. Today I'm going to try to fix the tow haul mode on my truck. 2008 GMC Sierra. It's a 2500 HD, and well, let me show you. So you know how on these, on the end of the stock, there's the button, and when you push that button, and over here you're supposed to get that little trailer-looking deal. Well, I don't get that. So what I'm going to do today is see if we can fix it. All right, so what they tell me is that with part of the stock over here, that the wire that runs in it runs around underneath, and because you're moving it up and down and you're putting it in and out of gear all the time, that it puts stress on that wire that's in there. So what I want to do is I want to pull off the clamshell here on the steering column, and these just pop together. So let me see if I can pop this thing apart and actually be able to... Oh, come on. Of course, it doesn't want to work quite that way when you're trying to prove it to somebody. But I also... There we go, there's part of it. And it should just basically, once you get it to start, it should just kind of pop off. So the top piece comes out. Now you want to bring it back up to the upper position, and then you can start getting this loose. But before you do that, you got to pull off the little tilt column button. So hang on, let me show you that. Okay, you got your tilt column button right here. And really, it's probably going to be a two-hander. Hang on. Yeah, it took two hands to pull it out of there. Just kind of one of those things. You may be able to do it with one. But if you have to use two, it's no big whoop. And so now, since you have it all the way up, you can start pulling this out, and it should kind of pop out. Let me see what the other side is. There we go. Now that piece is out. And let me look and see if we can see the wire underneath here. Now let me go get some more light. All right, so I grabbed another light. I've got my Harbor Freight light kind of hanging over the top of there. I want to do from this side. So what we need to do is this connector down here, that one right there, is the one that we need to pop loose. And then this wire runs all the way down underneath, and it's this orange wire. You see this one right here that goes up into the stock right here. Now the problem is, see where it's broken right there? That's the issue that these run into, is because that wire breaks right there. You lose your connection, and so you lose your tow haul, and you lose your transmission, and you lose your shift buttons and everything else up there. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and unclip that. Let me show you what that is. Unclip that one over here. It's just a pinch clip, and it pulls apart. And then come back up here. Let me get myself back in here. Bonk. So we'll do that, and then this screw right here, we'll pop that loose. Let me see, make sure I can show you what I'm looking at. Yeah, that screw right there, and it's a Torx bit. I think it's a 22, but I think I'm lying to you. I'll have to check and make sure. But anyway, it's a Torx bit, so you'll need Torx bits, you need a ratchet, pull that screw out, and then the whole stock will come out, and then we'll look at that wire and see what we got going on with it. Okay, so I had to pull the bottom two screws down here and then pop this down, basically just so that I can get my hands in here. It's still kind of a two-hand deal, but I'll show you here in a second once I get it unplugged. But it's just got one of those pinches on the back side. You squeeze it in and pull the clip out. So there it is. I got the clip apart. Now I'm going to undo these, feed this piece underneath and then pull the stock out. And once I pull the stock out, then we can take a actually good look at the wiring and make sure that we can see where it is broken or whatever the issue is, and then see if we can fix it. Okay, so I got the wire unclipped and I pulled it out, and look at that. You can see right there where it is. Now the biggie is we want to make sure that we know for sure which wire is which. So we're going to leave it intact together for now. What I'm going to do now is get the Torx bit, pull that nut or that screw out of there, and then pull the stock out, and then we'll reassess from there. Okay, so it's easier to put your little tilt thumb deal back in place, because now you can actually access everything the way you should do that. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull it back out. I just want to throw that back on. I pulled the wheel back down almost to the bottom. Just makes it easier to access it. All right, so I got that screw that's out of there. It's a T30, so just so you know. Now it's just a matter of pulling that out. You can see where that went in, and then now we can look closer at that. Let's go set this on the workbench and take a better look at it. All right, so I'm not sure how good you can see this because of the camera and everything else, but I need to try to peel back this orange casing. Probably need to get a razor blade. And actually do it that way. And, well, I was looking for one and got one right in front of me. All right, let's see if that'll split a little further down. Okay, so that one split back a little bit. I'm going to have to take it back a lot further than that. All right, so just a little bit of an update. You got to pay attention when you do this with the two broken wires, because the two, whichever one needs to go to the same one. I think I got it figured out. And I don't have any wire that small, so I had an old piece of electronics that had a battery go bad in it, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to twist these together, hit them with a short piece of shrink wrap, and then I'll do the other side. I'm doing one at a time so that, because that wire and that wire, I'm almost positive that are the right ones. So that's a matter of just trying to do what I can do, and I'm going to just twist them together and heat shrink them. And we'll see how it works. All right, so this isn't going so well, getting this stuff done. I think I'm going to have to come back and actually solder it, figure out how to close that up once it's soldered. But I did have a alternate plan just in case this didn't work out the way I had hoped it would. I went to my local pick and pull the other day and I bought a couple of these that they had there, and I think I'm going to try to test this one out and see if it, first off, see if it's any good. But it does have some broken wire too. Or not broken wire, but the casing is broken. And so I think what my plan is, I've got some of that tape that's for wire loom and all that stuff, and so I think I'm going to wrap this really good before I put it in. But before I do anything, I want to test it to make sure that it works. So let's go ahead and jump in there and make sure that this one works, and then I'll go ahead and tape it and do all that good stuff with it so we can get it ready to be installed. But I know that I want to have it more secure than what it is, obviously, because I don't want this to be an issue again in the near future. So let's go test this thing out. All right, so testing this thing out means that we need to plug this in to that plug right in there and figure it out and kind of, you know, let me go tape this up first so I get it a little bit more robust before I go bending it around, because I'd hate to have this thing break and me not know it and I'm screwing around with it and it could have been okay. All right, so the loom tape didn't give me what I was after, so I just went ahead and hit it with some good old-fashioned electrical tape. Now let me see if I can get this thing to poke back in here. Okay, it's plugged in. Let's hit the key. I'll just sit that right there for now, I think. Activate the old button. Oh, look at that. See that? How about that? This switch is good. This one works. All right, let me go ahead and snake that wire around there. I think I'm going to hit it with a little bit more electrical tape in a couple other spots just to make sure that it's thicker than it was, and we'll go ahead and install this thing. All right, so it is way back in there, right there. It's plugged back in. I routed the wires back underneath. I lost one of the little clips that because it won't fit in there anymore, but I moved another one around a little bit so that it kind of went into that slot. So it should be okay, but I'm going to check for free movement here in a second because I think that might be just a little bit too tight on that. Yeah, let me do that before I go any further because I think this needs to be moved somewhere else because I don't think that's going to fit right there. But I can just pop it out, so that's all right. But I don't think I want to have this just flopping around, but I don't know. I'm going to check movement and see what it looks like. I might just leave it like that. All right, so I checked the movement and everything. I think it's perfect right where it's at. I think I'm going to leave it right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the bottom panel on first. I've got to pull out the deal here, but I got to put the steering wheel all the way up, pull the tilt release out, or tilt lock, whatever you call it. Put the bottom clamshell in, put the lock tab back in, pull the steering wheel back down, put the top in, and it should be buttoned up. All right, so we're all back together now. Let's go ahead and see. We get, oh, it's not quite back together. These things are like Legos anymore. These just snap together is all they, oh, so you can see it. They just have little locking tabs in there is all, and they just snap together, so yeah. Anyway, there we go. And look at that, we got a trailer light. So apparently our tow haul mode will work again. Shut that off. Shut it off. Tell you what, if you're going to do this before you tear yours apart, yeah, go run by your local pick and pull or whichever ones you got. This stock, the whole thing was $6. There were two of them, one of them off an Escalade that has a leather wrap doohickey right here. I got both of them, so just in case, I figured I'd better have a spare. I'm going to fix my original one. It's just a little bit more tedious. I think I'm going to have to solder it, so it is what it is. But I figured I got these to have a spare. Recommend you do the same if you got one of these older trucks. Go get a spare and test it out. You can test it by just unplugging it and plugging the new one in, just like I did. Make sure that it works, and should get you. All right, so there you have it. That was actually a pretty easy project. I'm glad I went to the pick and pull before I pulled this one all the way out to look at it because, yeah, that's going to be a little bit more of a project to get that one back in service than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to go ahead and solder it and do all of that stuff, but I'll do that at a later time. It just, you know, just right now, just didn't feel like doing it, and I had a spare. Figured I'd test it. It works. Make it a little bit more robust, put it back in, and use that one until it stops working. At least I'll know what's going on. And then if that one ever stops, then I'll have a spare to throw back in there. But pretty easy, pretty simple project. These things are like I said, like Legos, so they all snap apart these days and snap back together, and you know, I don't think they meant them to last forever like the old days. Other than that, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching Yellow Jacket Garage. And if you haven't already done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Helps the channel out. Watch what you want. You know I don't post videos real often, but I post content when I've got content to post. You're not gonna see me do ads. If you see me using other tools and stuff like that, I paid for them out of my own pocket. And that way I feel like I can tell you whether they suck or whether they're good. And you know, that's kind of how I am. I've had offers to do things like that, but I just don't feel comfortable with it. And I see other people complain about other bigger YouTubers that it seems like their channels have turned into nothing but an advertisement for whatever products they're trying to hawk for somebody else. I don't do that. If I wind up making money off this thing, it's going to be ad revenue alone. So keep that in mind. Watch my videos. Help me boost up my time. Help me boost up all of those things, because you're not going to get ads out of me. You're going to get stuff that I've used, that I bought with my own money to try them out. So other than that, hey, I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And as always, we'll see you on down the road.